Another fun day in the Rockies, folks. Yeah, today we are driving / towing down the other truck. Once again, it's a 99 7.3 F250. And yeah, some kind neighbor friends of ours gave us a deal. But as is often the case, anytime you get a deal, there's always, some fine print. Now, I'm not saying they knew anything was wrong with it. They did tell me at one point it had a problem starting on a hill. That was before they fled the state to go down to Texas. Had enough of Colorado, I guess. Colorado. But yeah, it just got worse and worse. One day I was hauling water about 400 pounds. 400 gallons. I can't remember how many pounds that is. Definitely more than 400 pounds. Yeah, I was hauling up 400 gallons of water, and on the switchback, it conked out on me. And ever since that day, it's just been worse and worse. Anytime I'm on an incline, it wants to just dog out. Thankfully, right now, it's staying running. Had the hardest time over the last few months just trying to get it to idle. So yeah, once again, we're taking it down to our buddies there at Big Thompson Diesel and Automotive. They hooked us up fairly reasonable price last time and pretty good service. They weren't too outrageous in the pricing. But yeah, it's just constant upkeep, At one point, this vehicle was converted to a veggie vehicle. That's right, a vegan diesel. It could actually run off of, and I guess it still can. I've never tried it. I thought it was kind of a cool backup option, with the prices of gas going up and up, as they often do, especially with the war going on in Russia. Just in Ukraine, right? So, yeah, I thought it'd be a cool backup, end times. There's always going to be McDonald's, right? You can stop by a McDonald's and pick up your fuel for your vehicle. Pick yourself up a radioactive McChicken sandwich, with maybe a side of Fukushima fries. Yeah, it's kind of a cool option, but from what I've read, what I've heard from different people is it can sometimes, and it kind of makes sense, if you got this grease going through your engine, it can sometimes gunk things up, like possibly your injectors, that kind of thing, in a diesel. So that could be part of it. I'm thinking it's definitely like a fuel issue, like it's not getting enough fuel pumped to it. Fuel pump, maybe? I don't know. It'd be nice if it was something as simple as that, but yeah, I just didn't have time to even look at it. I didn't really care to, man. I've done too much mechanic work, and I know that's not a lot compared to some people, but the several times I have had to work on our trucks, it's just, man, it's a pain in the butt. So it's nice to be able to have the luxury, and we do kind of all pitch in here because this is also, one of the hauling water trucks, so we all kind of pitch in on repairs around here. That's what you got to do these days. So yeah, we have enough money set aside for something like this, so we're going to bring it down, and hopefully it's not going to cost another arm or leg. God, is there enough people on this road or what? It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon right now. Does anybody have jobs anymore, guys? Anybody? 9 to 5? No? I'm one to talk, right? Yeah, so that's the order of events today. Tonight, is everybody stoked as I am? It's gonna be a heart-stopping event with this GOP debate, right, guys, on Fox with Brett Baer. It's like literally the same recycled talking heads over however many elections has it been. We still have these same little Muppets, these little bobbleheaded media Muppets asking the questions of our presidential candidates, right? Isn't that interesting how everything is so controlled? What are they afraid of, right? Even Trump, I don't know. I guess Trump's too good to debate, I guess. Trump doesn't need to debate, right? Everybody knows what Trump stands for, right? I know there's still a lot of Trumpies out there, and even Tucker fans. But Why Tucker? You know, why is this guy so influential? Why is he like the new go-to for all things political? New go-to journalist for the right. Yes.
Good now.
Yeah, so far so good.
All right, so flash me. I'll keep an eye and make sure you're behind me. Otherwise, we'll keep on going.
Okay. Looks like we're getting some rainy.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, it's okay so far.
Okay.
Hopefully it's good to just coast on down.
Okay, sounds
All right.
good.
If you don't see me, then you know what happened.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, she's leading the charge appropriately, right? I gotta put it in drive now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get it. They tell you everything you want to hear. It sounds so good on paper, right? Why is it always the same bobbleheads, right? Like, if Trump really wanted to be an outsider, why don't you just pick some nobody? Yeah, how about Nightwatch N8? Yeah, that's never gonna happen. But just, you know, some kind of actual, from the ground up, social media journalist of some sort, right? It didn't get their start in big media, Fox News. Wasn't even CNN, I think. Wasn't Tucker on CNN for a bit? I think that's pretty ironic. In any case, you know, another kind of recycled Mockingbird Media news personality, right? And it's fitting, you know, I still haven't done my rundown on Tucker yet, but it's fitting in that his dad, was his name Dick Carlson, literally worked Operation Mockingbird for the CIA. I mean, what are the odds, folks? Now Tucker is the top newsman of the world, right? Yeah, he worked at it was called Voice of America. And it was actually a radio broadcast. Targeting a world audience for American propaganda purposes, of course. Literal CIA operation. Mockingbird Media. Voice of America. Again, around the Cold War period. In any case, I'm not going to get too much into Tucker. I know it's a golden calf for a lot of people, as well as Trump. Every time I do, I lose more subscribers. I don't mind. I'm not here for a popularity contest, folks. I'm just here to preach the truth. I guess. I mean, is that really what people want to hear? That's what I ask myself quite often. Do people really? You can't handle the truth, right? Do people really want to hear the truth? I mean, just look at this lineup of candidates from the GOP. It's a freaking joke. Okay, maybe there's a couple guys that might look a little squeaky, might look a little shiny. We already know who the two frontrunners are, besides Trump. DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy. And I've seen even some of the most, like, I don't know, I guess you could say conspiratorial leaning channels, like not libs of TikTok, liberal hive mind, same. Promoting Vivek like he's the bee's knees, right? He sounds so good. You guys do any research? You know, he's like a little Soros trust fund baby. What do you have, like a little scholarship? The guy literally got his education from Soros money, and then he went on to graduate to become a young global leader of the World Economic Forum. Even though he denies all affiliation, you know, he put out a lawsuit, you know, just this year when he started getting some bad PR from that little association. Conveniently enough, right? Like, I don't have anything to do with the WIF. Just now you're concerned about that, Vivek. They've had you on there for quite a while. But in any case, they're all globalist hand puppets. we don't really have a choice. On a national level, it's like one of these articles I read, it's like, what is it, 8 candidates who made the cut, as they say it, made the cut, to be up there on stage, right? What does that mean? Well, basically it means that you've been chosen from the establishment to be worthy enough to get any airtime to ask the American people to vote for you for the highest office of the land, the POTUS, right? What does that mean to make the cut? Anybody ever ask those questions? Like, why is there, out of this massive country of over, what was it, last I checked, 330 million people? Probably more now, especially with all the illegal immigrants flooding the country. Probably a lot of undocumented numbers out there too, but, you know, 300 plus million people, and we get 8 people to choose from. Anybody ever wonder why we have such a small, little hand-picked little handful of candidates to choose from? And, you know, all the times that I've watched the presidential debates in the past, the first time I really got into it, of course, was when I campaigned for Ron Paul in 08 and 12. And man, just to watch the media manipulation back then, it was ridiculous. It was pretty hilarious actually to watch them squirm. You know, as Ron Paul was winning all the online polls, any way they could cut it, Ron Paul was first, but they did everything they could. They even erased his name from the polls just to make sure that people didn't notice that he was a pretty popular guy. Because we don't want, it's all about steering the public opinion. We don't want anybody that we don't control to gain any traction, right?
So now with Pawlenty dropping out, Rick Perry dropping in, and Michelle Bachmann and Ron Paul dominating the Ames straw poll, we got ourselves a race.
We have a top tier. It is Mitt Romney, Rick Perry, and Michelle Bachmann.
We have a new top tier, and it's Perry, Mitt Romney, and Bachmann.
There's now a top tier in this race, at least for now, of Romney, Perry, and Bachmann.
I mean, I think that's fair to say. Really fair to say? You're not forgetting, I don't know, anyone, say an ideologically consistent 12-term congressman who came within less than 200 votes of winning the straw poll? Isn't anyone going to give that gentleman a little love?
And so when you see the media promoting, like Rand Paul said about Trump when he ran against Trump, you know, it's easy to be ahead in the polls when you get millions and millions and billions, right, of free publicity from the press, which Trump has had his whole life. I mean, that's not even a question, right? Now you can question whether it's good or bad publicity, but if you realize the game, how it's played, you know, bad publicity from the mainstream media is a plus for the right? Because we know that the whole left, that the whole mainstream media is left-leaning, right? And garbage, right? Woke nonsense. So anytime they attack a candidate, they're giving him street cred, basically, right? And they did the same thing with DeSantis. And now I haven't been paying too much attention until just recently. This guy popped up on the radar out of nowhere again, right? Kind of like a Obama type figure, young hipster, just pops up on the scene. Oh, I'm running for president. And I'm super well spoken, guys. I've got the perfect cadence, don't you know? I talk like I got the whole world figured out, guys. Like everything is a matter of fact when I say it. Because I'm Obama Hope and Change 2.0. Yeah, this new Vivek Ramaswamy dude. You know, the former Wolf of Wall Street hedge fund guy that conned everybody. He literally bought up the failed drug from the drug cartel kingpin, GlaxoSmithKline. Failed Alzheimer's drug, okay? Renamed it, rebranded it. Didn't do any like follow-up test. I think his mother was even in on it. I haven't completely researched this out yet. From a couple video presentations I watched, his mother was literally in on this business. They hyped up this new product, this failed Alzheimer's drug from Pfizer, and made themselves tens and tens and, you know, eventually hundreds of millions of dollars. What a slick little willy, right? I was kind of wondering, like, you know, oftentimes a lot of these guys, they're blackmailed one way or another. With Vivek, I kind of wonder if that was kind of one of those things where, you know what, he was approached by a certain group of powerful people, and And they told him, you know what, Vivek, like the WEF say, you have a lot of potential. You're a pretty bright guy. You're very well spoken. You know, you're brown skinned, whatever kind of street cred, whatever kind of perks the guy has to be their product, basically. It's personality politics garbage. Anyway, yeah, so at one point, this is just theory, speculation, you know, say they approached him and said, you know what, Vivek, you kind of committed a crime there with your little Ponzi scheme of this recycled, failed Pfizer drug. But here's how we're going to do you. You know, you're going to get popular, you're going to get big, you're going to get wealthy, but you're going to take orders from us, right? You have been selected. You've been chosen. Vivek Ramen Noodle Swami. You are our next Obama 2.0. And I just kind of speculate if it happens like that sometimes, you know. It's like either that, or if you don't follow orders, you're going to prison for a very long time. And you're going to lose all your fortune. But you know what? We see promise in you, Vivek. We see much promise. You know, you have already demonstrated to us that you are willing to backstab your fellow human being to get ahead. And that is just what we want. Just the person we want under our control. Because you're easy to control. Because you're only driven by self-interest. You know, you have no principle to stand on, Mr. 1776. Formerly known as, okay. I wish I would have got that in film. There's a guy back there, like, in this rundown RV, with a big giant beware of dogs sign on the outside. It looks like he's just holding up there on the side of the highway. Okay. It's a new America, folks. Bidenomics, right? But yeah. This, you know, if you're driven by self-interest, if you have no higher principle, then how easy, right? Like everybody has a price. You know, it takes pennies, literally. Like this has been demonstrated before. Like when the CIA was caught bribing different world leaders and different politicians, literally for a couple $100,000 sometimes, right? It doesn't take much. If you just want to get ahead, you know, to get attention, to get fame, to get recognition, and at the same time make yourself wealthy, you're the most easy pawn in the world to control, right? By the global elite, which literally print the money, right? If you print the money, you can manufacture the politician, basically. So in any case, it's going to be fun, right, guys? I'll try to do some kind of a follow-up. You know, it's probably going to be the total snooze fest. And like everybody's hyped up, I'm sure the Trump-Tucker interview is going to get vastly superior ratings, viewership, right? Because we all know, right? Quote-unquote social media, alternative media is the go-to source of information today. And that's why we have a guy, a front man for DARPA, like Elon Musk, who just happened to monopolize and take over Twitter, X. And you control the information, right? You can control the world for the most part. And they don't just let some upstart rogue, you know, loose cannon, as they called Trump, control without being controlled such a powerful platform as Twitter, or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think. If you think, as I do, that this is just a big giant game show at this point. I mean, you look at some of these characters. A couple of them, you know, they always got to throw in some random oddballs, you know, make it look like, hey, who's this guy? Hey, this guy came out of nowhere. He just he ended up on the presidential stage. And what makes these guys qualified again? Well, that's right, because they're controlled by the establishment, who puts on your little reality TV show / game show elections. And it gets so old, and man, it just seems like every year they just inject, I don't know what kind of chemicals people are taking under the influence of, but every year when the election season cycle comes around, everybody just loses all sanity. You know, what is the definition of insanity? It's repeating the same mistakes of the past. Well, you know, in my short lifetime here, 4+ decades, I've pretty much witnessed the exact same thing happen over and over again. All these politicians, promising us the moon, and all we get is a little moon dust, right? We just keep getting screwed. Like George Carlin would put it in a little more colorful term. Anyway, this is interesting. We got some police lights. There's always something going on, There's anytime you come down to town, there's some kind of crime, some kind of accidents, some kind of drama going down. Just looks like a pullover. Maybe somebody's ouch, lost a tire, man. That sucks. Praise God, that's not me. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but praise God in any case. I'm pretty low key, bro. Pretty low key. I haven't had too many crises, hit us just yet. We have some, disease in the family that's kind of affecting all of us on some level, depression-wise, but overall, God is good. We all still have food on the table. We all still have funds to repair our vehicles, and free time, which a lot of people I realize don't have out there. But yeah, just stay tuned, folks. It'll be interesting. I totally lost my train of thought. Probably doesn't matter at this point. You know how it is. I'll just ramble on for another 10 minutes anyway. So I'm gonna cut it short today. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do a follow-up on this Tucker Trump interview. Maybe I'll kind of fit that into my expose. Tucker, Swanson, Carlson. We'll see if I get enough time on my hands. Otherwise, I might just do kind of a rundown. Maybe I wish if I had the internet out in the Nightwatch mobile, I would do a live stream of the debate. I think that would be hilarious. And maybe hopefully soon here I'll be able to do that kind of thing. Maybe later on in the presidential debates as they get more saucy. I just want to see like a cage match, right? Like, I mean, we might as well just, start up the Coliseums again and let all these globalists and their little sock puppets just kind of duke it out to the death, right? That'd be probably more worth watching than just listening to these guys parrot talking points, telling the American people everything we want to hear. Again, so we can vote them into office and they can screw us over, right? I mean, that's the MO, guys. I don't know what planet you've been living on if you don't realize that by now, but hopefully people are waking up to the fact that these guys don't give a damn. These guys on stage, these chosen ones, right? These hand-picked qualifiers that made it up on stage to run as supposedly our presidential candidates. None of these guys give a damn about the will of the American people. They're all controlled. They all have their masters. They all have to serve somebody, as Bob Dylan put it, right? Maybe I'll end with that song. Anyway, God bless everybody. Appreciate everybody out there for the views, the likes, subscribes, click all notifications. I'm still kind of jonesing for some coffee. Buy me a coffee. It's been a while. Anyway, God bless everybody. Nightwatch N8. Stay tuned. I'll put something out shortly on this latest plot twist in the political reality show that is our elections. All right, see y'all later. God bless. Nightwatch N8 signing out.
You may like to gamble, you may like to dance. You may be the heavyweight champion of the world. You may be a socialite with a long string of pills, but you'll have to serve somebody. Yes, indeed, serve somebody. Well, it may be the devil, or it may be the Lord, but you'll have to serve somebody. Might be a rock and roll addict prancing on his stage. Might have drugs in your pocket, women in a cage. You may be some businessman or some high-degree thief. They may call you doctor, they may call you chief, but you'll have to serve somebody. Yes, indeed, serve somebody. Well, it may be the devil, or it may be the Lord, but you'll have to serve somebody. You may be a construction worker working on a home. Maybe living in a mansion. You may be living in a dome. You may own guns. You may even own tanks. You may be somebody's landlord. Maybe even own banks. But you'll have to serve somebody. Maybe a preacher with a spiritual pride. You may be working as a dishwasher